Best GPUs to buy in 2026. Every budget, ranked. Stop buying GPUs based on hype, because right now, most people shopping for a GPU are making the same mistake. They overpay for old names, they skip cards that would completely transform their gaming experience, and they end up regretting it 6 months later. Today, I'm fixing that. 5 budget tiers, best pick at each one, real numbers, no hype. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly which GPU to buy and exactly why. Let's go. One rule before we start. In 2026, 8 gigabytes of VRAM is your absolute minimum. Anything less, and you are already behind. Keep that in mind for everything we cover today. First tier, under $100. I'll be honest with you, this tier is a minefield in 2026. GTX 1650, RX 570, RX 580. These cards are not budget options anymore. They're old, power-hungry, and struggling hard in modern titles. So what actually makes sense here? If you can find a used RTX 2060 for around $90 to $100, that's your best option in this range. In Fortnite at 1080p competitive settings, 112 frames average. In Cyberpunk at 1080p medium with DLSS quality, around 70 frames. Playable, consistent. It has DLSS support, it has a hardware encoder for streaming, and 6 gigs of VRAM is not ideal in 2026, but for the games most people actually play at this budget, it holds up. Buy it knowing you'll upgrade in about 2 years. Now, if the RTX 2060 is overpriced in your region, look at the Intel Arc A580. Yes, Intel. In Hogwarts Legacy at 1080p medium, 67 frames. In Forza Horizon at 1080p Ultra, 74 frames. 8 gigs of VRAM, AV1 encoding, modern drivers that are much better than launch day. This card is criminally underrated and almost nobody talks about it. Verdict for under $100. Used RTX 2060 if priced right, Intel Arc A580 if available in your region. Anything else in this tier? Skip it. Second tier, under $200. This is where GPUs finally start making real sense, and this tier has one dominant answer in 2026. The RX 7600, around $170 to $190 new, depending on your region. In Cyberpunk at 1080p medium, 68 frames native. In Hogwarts Legacy at 1080p high, 72 frames average. In Call of Duty Warzone at high settings, almost 100 frames. 8 gigs of VRAM, extremely efficient at 165 watts. FSR3 with fluid motion frame support. This is a legitimate 1080p card for modern gaming in 2026. Not just playable, actually smooth. Now, if you can stretch to around $220, the RTX 4060 adds DLSS 3 with frame generation and better power efficiency at only 115 watts. If you stream or use DLSS-supported games heavily, that extra $40 is worth it. But in raw value per dollar, the RX 7600 wins this tier. Verdict: RX 7600 is the best new GPU under $200 right now. RTX 4060 if DLSS matters to your workflow. Used RX 6650 XT under $150 if you're comfortable going used. Third tier, $200 to $350. This is the most important tier in the video. Most people spend their money here. And right now, there is one card that I think is the single smartest GPU purchase you can make in all of 2026.
The RTX 4070 Super. Around $299 to $330 depending on your region. 12 gigs of GDDR6X. DLSS 3 with frame generation. 220 watts. In Cyberpunk at 1440p Ultra, 71 frames native, and over 115 with DLSS quality plus frame generation. In Hogwarts Legacy at 1440p Ultra, 84 frames native. In competitive titles at 1440p, completely uncapped. This card handles 1440p in 2026 AAA games without compromise. And with frame generation, it handles titles that would challenge a card twice its price. Now, if DLSS isn't a priority for you, the RX 7700 XT at around $270 to $300 is a serious alternative. 12 gigs of VRAM, about 8 to 12% behind in most rasterization tests, but meaningfully cheaper, and with FSR3 fluid motion frame support. If your game library doesn't use DLSS heavily, this gap is not worth paying for. Verdict: RTX 4070 Super is the smartest all-around GPU purchase in 2026. RX 7700 XT if you want strong rasterization value and don't need DLSS. Now, here's where most people get it wrong. The next tier is where the real decisions get hard. Because between $350 and $500, the competition between NVIDIA and AMD is closer than it's ever been. And one AMD card in this range might genuinely shock you. Stay with me. Fourth tier, $350 to $500. Ask yourself before spending in this range, what are you actually trying to do? If you're gaming at 1080p, you don't need to be here. The 4070 Super already handles everything you need. This tier is for high refresh 1440p gaming, early 4K, content creation. You need a reason to be here.
Best pick? RTX 4070 Ti Super. Around $399 to $450, depending on your region. 16 gigs of GDDR6X, DLSS 3 with frame generation. In Cyberpunk at 4K Ultra, around 54 frames native, and close to 100 with DLSS quality plus frame generation. At 1440p high refresh, this card is essentially uncapped in everything. The 16 gigs of VRAM also makes this relevant for video editing and local AI workloads. If that's part of your workflow, this card earns its price. Now, the competitor here is the RX 7900 GRE, around $350 to $380, depending on your region. 16 gigs of VRAM, RDNA 3. In pure rasterization, it trades blows with the 4070 Ti Super.
Sometimes beats it. If your games are rasterization heavy and DLSS isn't in the picture, the 7900 GRE saves you $60 to $70 with almost no performance sacrifice. Verdict: RTX 4070 Ti Super for everything, including DLSS and ray tracing. RX 7900 GRE for rasterization value at a lower entry price. Fifth tier, $500 and above. Two cards define this space in 2026. RTX 5080, around $700 to $800 depending on your region. Blackwell architecture, DLSS 4 with multi-frame generation. In Cyberpunk at 4K Ultra, over 180 frames with DLSS 4 multi-frame generation. In Alan Wake 2 at 4K Ultra, around 155. 4K gaming at high refresh rates. Ray tracing without compromise. The most future-proof card you can buy right now, short of the 5090. But then there's the RX 9070 XT, around $479 to $549 depending on your region.
RDNA 4, 16 gigs of VRAM. FSR 4, which is genuinely the closest AMD has ever gotten to competing with DLSS. In pure rasterization at 4K, this card competes directly with cards that cost twice as much 18 months ago. If you don't need DLSS 4 multi-frame generation, the 9070 XT might be the most value you can buy at the high end in 2026. And the RTX 5090 at around $2,000, if you have to ask whether you need it, you don't. Buy the 5080 and invest the rest. Verdict: RTX 5080 if you want the best of everything. RX 9070 XT if you want high-end rasterization performance without paying the NVIDIA premium. Before we wrap this up, one thing. The biggest mistake people make when buying a GPU isn't choosing the wrong tier. It's buying on emotion. RTX 4080 sounds powerful. This used flagship was expensive 3 years ago. My friend has this card. None of that matters. What matters is performance in your games at your resolution. VRAM for what's releasing in the next 2 years. Efficiency for your build, and price compared to what else exists right now. The people who win when buying hardware aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who compare the most. Here's the full picture. Under $100, used RTX 2060 or Intel Arc A580. Under $200, RX 7600, RTX 4060 if DLSS matters. $200 to $350, RTX 4070 Super, the smartest GPU purchase of 2026. $350 to $500, RTX 4070 Ti Super for everything. RX 7900 GRE for rasterization value. $500 and above, RTX 5080 for the best. RX 9070 XT for the smart buy. Drop a comment. Which tier are you building in right now? I read every single one. If this video helped you make a smarter decision, subscribe, because this is what we do every week. Real data, real comparisons, no hype. Smart builders don't buy what's popular. They buy what makes sense. Make sure you're one of them.